All right, Ram.
All right.
All right.
We should be back.
We should be.
Hopefully.
Let's say.
Are
we sure we're back? Because that says start streaming. It's on our end. On OBS. It does say start streaming.
Yeah.
We're good?
We're on? All right.
Okay. All right.
Never
Hello,
mind.
everyone.
We're back. We're just having a couple technical issues. I think our streaming software crashed, but we are back. We are ready to go back into game here.
Should be getting into this here in a
Yeah,
second.
looks...
Oh, never mind. We're on break again.
Oh, hang on.
Zach is in the bathroom. All right. We're gonna go to a small break while we
We'll be right back. All right, we are back. We're finally getting back into this gameplay, but
There we go.
there's not much gameplay to be had already. We're just in the
There's no gameplay yet.
yeah, not quite yet, but we're
We're still assembling our heroes.
yeah
This
those
is gonna be an interesting map.
comps are
Yeah.
going to be revealed here in a sec. We'll have more to discuss then.
My
but
guess is we're gonna get some RAM here.
Yeah, I
From
would
UC,
I would
I
guess
think.
that too.
I
I think Stifty will go over to the Ram. Wanston
He's gonna go that
almost
Zarya.
certainly on the Zarya.
yeah,
Let's
Oh,
see.
we shall
There we
see.
go.
And big surprise, Watson's on the Zarya, and Stifty is on that Ramatra.
Yep.
Please, Lightning, stay Weaver for the content.
There's no way.
Why? Please.
I think he's just lifting him up so that he doesn't have to
Yeah.
waste like a grapple
Yeah.
or something. I don't know.
I'm just
Yeah.
saying.
In the spawn.
I wanted. To
I
do so
would.
much
I
fun.
want the Zek
Junkrat?
Junkrat.
Yes.
The
You
only-
know they might. Well,
He
no,
might-
that would be terrible to run
Yeah, I
into a
was gonna say
Zarya.
into the Zarya.
That'd be
Yeah.
awful.
That would be throwing.
But it'd be fun. It'd be funny.
It would be, but it would be UC throwing.
I think Rowan's gonna go for a nice widow snipe out of spawn, but
Preston is on that May again, which is
Yeah.
going to definitely make this hard for UC to get in.
oh yeah,
They're gonna look for
very
walls
much.
on the Ramatra.
Yeah. So it's gonna be up to UC to play very well around these walls.
All right, I'm
Zach is
manifesting a
swapping to the
headshot.
May.
No,
Yeah, I was gonna say.
nothing quite there.
Yeah, back onto standard UC
Yup.
UC comps for this tournament. Didn't mess up that wall there.
On the Juno Lucio, so they're gonna want to try and go fast here.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's a good point. I
Just
did
one bubble out from the Zarya.
I think that's really good though that they are running this ultra fast
Yeah.
tempo heavy comp and they're trying to
Ooh,
take control
Nachos
of it.
so low. Lightning low as well.
Stifty is anti, so he's definitely slow here.
They're taking point.
Zach does
Zach
find a
kill onto
pick onto Bryson though.
Yeah.
That is incredibly huge. Rowan now
Rowan
gets
finds
one on the
Akioto.
Akioto as
Bubbles
well.
are
That's a
out.
great wall as well from Zach, cutting off the Zarya
The
from the back
Zarya is
line.
split. Yeah, this should be the point here.
They're gonna fight it though.
Zarya is still there with
Zach
100
kills
energy, but
Quinn,
Zach,
yeah.
yeah, that's it.
This should be capped for UC, no issue. I am expecting though. Oh no, Quinn's gonna get far spawn.
Quinn got
so,
far spawn, so they can't hold
Yeah,
close.
Penn State's not gonna play close. Quinn is swapping to that Kiri though instead of that Juno.
So maybe they will be trying to hold close just so that Kiri can
Maybe.
TP in.
Yeah, Quinn and Nacho both swapping to that Kiri instead of that Juno. I like
Interesting.
both of it. I do. I like it.
I like the Kiri swap, especially for Nacho, seeing
Yeah.
that Big Bum is on the Ana and how impactful these
Yeah.
Ana nades have been
Yeah.
throughout this whole tournament.
Yeah, nothing really on UC besides the Suzu didn't mitigate those.
Bryson was forced to use block early, but they are going to kill Rowan.
That is a nice shot from Bryson there onto Rowan.
Slip from Big Bomb.
Stifty does get
They
slapped
are
and now
gonna use the
wall
wall
in.
as well. Yeah, I
Oh, the
think
Suzu
Big
comes
Suzu there.
out.
that is big.
I think Sifty lives here.
Yeah, he is going to live.
They'll get out.
He is going to live.
They'll get a nice regroup
This
going
is,
here.
though, very good still for Penn State. They have
Yes.
ults coming up, and they have arch control now.
Though Zach the Snack is very close to that Blizzard, and
also
that's going to
true.
be incredibly dangerous
Yeah.
for...
Penn State does
Penn
have
State.
Grav, though.
We
and
have Bubbles and Suzu
Yeah.
to counteract it. We'll probably see a Nano Zarya here.
expecting Grav here in a
I'm looking
second.
for a grab.
Yeah,
Doesn't quite
there
have...
it is.
There it is.
It's a big grab.
Big grab.
However,
There's
Zach
that
wants-
Blizzard.
Blizzard.
Akioto does find Lightning, but Stifty trades out Bryson, and Nacho
Nacho
finds
finds
Wanston.
That's
Akioto
right.
does have the overclock now, but I don't think he'll use it on this losing team fight.
Rowan on the
other
flank
hand,
here.
Rowan
might use this overclock on the flank.
Should be able to kill Akioto here. He's walled as well.
Theoretically, they won't need it. We'll see
Yeah,
here. Oh,
Akioto
That's a
with
nice
great
shot
hit
from
on Toe.
Akioto.
Yeah.
they will get the trade though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that is not good for UC. Not having that Sojourn in this
Yeah.
final fight will be costly.
I will say though, it's maybe a little bit better for UC though. I mean, spawns are pretty similar at this point. That like they should get back about the same time.
Yeah. They can take the fight here,
Yeah,
4v4.
very much so. Yeah.
Out
Big
comes
Bomb
the
does have
Kasane
the
Rush,
Santa,
though, from both
Here comes the
teams.
Nano Zarya.
There's the sound barrier. Zach
With
finds
a
Big
great kill
Bomb.
on Big Bomb.
Yeah, I love that rush.
Stifty,
Just run
though.
the Ana over. Oh,
Yeah,
but Stifty
Stifty's just
can't
gonna
get out of the Blizzard.
Yeah. Rowan though with Akioto.
Here
Kills
comes the
Akioto, has
overclock.
the clock.
Can he find Wanston? He's looking for him.
looking for it.
He gets
He's
him
got
low.
Wanston
He
so
gets
low.
him 1
Wanston's so low. No
HP.
bubbles.
They do
Won't go
find
down.
Wanston. That should be the point capture here for UC.
Yeah,
Though
he's
the May's gonna stall there for a
Should
bit.
find point here. and
Just the
then-
May now.
Yeah,
It
now
looks
you're gonna
like
look at
UC
Bryson.
will cap
Yeah.
this.
Very
Beautiful
well played
shots
from
there.
UC. Even though losing Sifty, they still were able to pull that out. Rowan got back, and as soon as he got back, he was able to kill Akioto again. That was a big pick from Rowan there.
Akioto does have that overclock though, and Stifty has the annihilation for these next fights.
Yeah, this is going to be a very big fight. Because if Penn State wants to win...
Wanston! He's dead!
Wow!
Oh,
That's
they
a big
catch
pick from
Wanston
Rowan.
out, and now they can get some momentum going here on third. This is getting real
Yeah.
dangerous for Penn State.
Yeah, Penn State needs to win this next fight. Otherwise, UC's just gonna be able to just win it no matter what Penn State does. Like, this next fight is huge.
Yeah. Penn State is coming up on some ults.
That was very close. Akioto almost killing Nacho there.
So if the fight goes long, they will get them.
Yeah. Akioto does have this overclock. I'm expecting him to use it here in a second.
Going on the
Here
right
it
side.
goes.
Oh,
Very big
beautiful
kill on
shot.
Lightning. Nacho very low as well in there.
Doesn't
Nacho
quite
able
find
to-
anything else though.
Nacho looks like he's able to get out. Stifty, though, is going to
Stifty.
fall here.
Yeah, gets
Does
slapped
find
there by
Stifty.
Big
Yeah.
Bum.
Penn State's trying to see if they can get anything else, but Zach's not going to let him.
Wanston's
UC's just going to reset.
UC
Wanston's got the
though,
grab.
Yeah.
UC though coming up on 5 ults.
Yeah, I was going to say,
Yeah.
UC's in a very good spot to win this game. However, Wanston does have that grab, as Danny said. They have Curiel, almost at that Nano.
I'm
and that
expecting to
Blizzard.
see a Blizzard grab, to be honest with you.
I could see that as well. I also think Zach is going to counter Blizzard this grab. He's going to counter
Concentrate theirs.
Blizzard right here. I lied. He died early.
Yeah, I like this from UC. They play their ult advantage.
Yeah.
Yep.
They get 2 for 1, and now they're gonna have
Yeah.
4 ults, and Penn State's going to have 2.
I mean, I would have loved if they didn't use that rush, but I mean, you know, you're right though. They did only use 1 ult, and Penn State ended up using 2 for
I don't think Penn State would have committed as much had Nacho not used that Kitsune rush.
It all happened
So
so fast. It's hard to say who
Yeah.
went first,
Mm-hmm.
but
That's fair.
now we'll probably see a Nano Zarya here.
Yeah. I think also both Mace are probably going to trade Blizzards here, I think.
Stifty
At some
going
point.
real low, forced to use that Nemesis form now. Zach the Snack
Zach
on the
is
right
looking
side
for
here.
it.
Nice off angles, got that Blizzard.
Great headshot on Akioto.
Stifty's now walking in, pops the annihilation.
Great kill
That
on
is
the Bryson.
a nice
I
shot.
I think the Blizzard got
Canceled the
canceled.
Blizzard, yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
But
Beautiful kill.
Wanston, Nano Zarya.
It does kill Nacho.
Here's the Blizzard now
There's the Blizzard.
from Zach. It
Wanston
does
gonna
kill
find
Wanston,
Wanston.
yeah.
The raid boss is down.
And Rowan has clock here, and Lightning has beat. This is still very winnable
Oh
for
yeah.
UC.
Stifty does unfortunately get slept there on the right side now.
They need to get some of these kills though. They cannot
Yeah.
let PSU stabilize.
Yeah, Bryson is touching.
There's the overclock from Rowan. Will
Very
he hit
close.
another absolute insane clip here?
Big Bum just hiding behind that pillar. Wanston
Blowing
going
Wanston
low.
up, yeah. Not able to
Unfortunately,
get anything with the clock.
yeah, not the
like-
best angle there on that left side.
Both teams are gonna stable here.
There's
Yeah.
the sound barrier from Lightning. Can
Can
he
we
get the
kill this
boop off the
May?
map?
No,
No,
not
not
able
quite.
to.
Close though.
I think the slow
I
prevented
was gonna
the
say,
boot.
I think it was
Yeah.
the vortex there.
They will
you see,
kill
though-
the May though. But
Yeah,
they started coming
Akioto's got
close
the
to the
overclock
grab.
though.
I was gonna say, Wanson's gonna have grab here in a second. Big Bomb does fall though.
Akioto's really low, but he does have an overclock
This is
running.
still- I was gonna
There's
say-
the grab.
Oh, they might just see 9.
Nice shot.
Oh no!
And Lightning.
Oh, the grab.
Wow. Wait, yeah,
is
you
so
see.
good, but they can still win this.
They are
Yeah,
still winning
definitely
it.
still
Yeah.
winnable. Rowan
Watson
finds
goes
Watson.
down. They need to get these kills quick.
Did Akioto?
They need to
They are
use
gonna
this
kill
rush.
Akioto down.
There's the
Oh, the
annihilation.
annihilation will be so good here, just
Yeah.
anchoring the point. That should be
Nice
Beautiful
Rowan.
from Rowan.
That is disgusting.
Rowan kills 3 in
Rowan
that final
popped off.
fight.
Rowan's
Yeah.
insane, man.
That was beautiful from Rowan. He was able to blow up Watson and he was able to blow up Watson, and then after that he was able to kill the Kiri, which really sealed that fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The annihilation there out of Sifty too was a great repellent for
Yeah.
anybody trying to touch that point there in those last few seconds.
I do think you're right though, Seamus. I think the vortex saved that man from going out
Yeah.
the map. Unluckily for Lightning.
I know Lightning likes his boop kills, so he won't
does.
be happy.
He does.
He won't be happy with Sifty about that.
I
but-
will say though, Penn State played that very well. Going into third point, UC had 5 minutes.
Yeah. Held him down,
They're down to a minute.
Less than a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This was still very well played by Penn State.
Yeah, Penn State were able to get that ult cycle going with the Nano and the Grav.
Seen a little something new from Penn State here with the Torb. I haven't seen much of
Torb.
Torb from Penn State.
Yeah, we'll
so
see if
far.
they actually roll out on this or not.
I saw Rowan hovering over the defense window, and I really wanted him to go for it.
As much as we all want that, I don't think it's gonna happen.
I don't know. I feel like a lot of people find Widow gameplay boring. I don't. I like Widow.
It depends on who the Widow is.
That's
right?
fair.
If it's,
Yeah,
like, if it's just like
Yeah, if
old
you're watching
Overwatch
me on
League
Widow-
and it's like Surefour, that shit. Oh, that stuff is very good. Very good.
Listen, as
but
the
yeah,
resident-
no, Seamus, we don't want to see that one.
As the resident UCal Widow 1v1 winner, I'm a fan of
That's
the
true.
Widowmaker
You
gameplay.
did win the Widow 1v1. You did win the Widow 1v1. But yeah, no.
And I lost to a plat tank player. So.
Also true. Also true.
Did have Akioto on the attack Widow there just for a quick
Yeah.
shot. Doesn't quite
Bryson
find
is
anything.
rolling out on this Torb. So very
Yeah,
interesting to
sticking
see
with the
what's gonna
Torb, not the
happen.
May.
Yeah. Whereas Zek is on this May here.
Interesting.
Lots of colors
Watson
on my
Watson-
screen.
very low here.
In trouble.
Nacho did have to use his Suzu really early though.
Zek
So
the
this
Stack
is
finding a big
still
pick
good
onto
trick.
Bryson's Storm turret there.
Yeah.
Wonston has no bubbles and low health, so he can't really push the advantage yet. It looks like they're maybe going to try and take this top right angle. Oh, the Surge is already up there with the
I was
Kiri.
gonna say, yeah.
Ooh, Bryson,
so
7
low.
HP, 3
Oh,
HP.
the vortex.
Nice, the
Falls to
vortex.
the vortex.
Sifty though falling very, very low. Great wall from Zek. I
Yeah,
think that's
great
gonna
defense.
keep
Keep him out.
alive.
Just
Oh,
for
Nacho,
now.
1 HP. Akioto. It's
Gotta
a
be
huge
careful of
shot
that.
now.
Gotta be
The
careful with
disruptor
the shot, yeah.
Rowan's
Rowan's
all
taking the
alone.
duel. Quinn, very close to dying there to Rowan.
Zach there also fell very low, but able to save
Yeah.
himself.
That was great play from UC though. Kept Sifty alive there.
UC are kind of just trapped in this corner for now.
Pence, Watson gonna fall.
Yeah,
That's
nice May wall from
That
Zach.
was, yeah, that was a great
Very
ball.
big kill.
Rowan's going up to challenge this high ground again.
Looks
He
like
is gonna pick
QCC are
Quinn on
just
the
gonna
way
try
out
and
as
get
well.
out.
Yeah, UC's playing this very well right now.
This is why one of the reasons why UC likes to attack first
Yeah.
on King's Row. I talked to Stiff T yesterday about it. They like carrying this momentum over from
Yeah.
that attack into the defense.
I also still am surprised that Bryson's playing this Torb. I would have thought he would swap to May after.
He might be.
after.
I think he's gonna try and get an ultimate first.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I just think the May would be better here. I think it was working well for Penn State when they were on May. And I'm not sure they're
Here
getting
comes the
same
rush
value
from
out of the
Nacho.
Torb
They're
as
going
they
to try
want
and
to.
go fast.
Wanston does have the grab
For
though.
PSU, it looks like they're just going to be able to kite it.
There
the
it
grab
is.
is
Watson
in.
does.
It's big.
It is beaten.
The beat is there,
It's a
and
very
there's just
big
not
beat,
enough
yeah.
follow-up. Wanston's still on low charge.
Yeah.
Will be
There's
nano,
the
but
nano.
still on low charge. We'll see what he can get done with it. Rowan
Countered by Rowan's
overclocking.
Just trying
Lightning
to
will go down.
burst him
Nacho will go down.
Watson's gonna be able to kill this
Watson's
Torb.
so low,
Watson's
though.
on 1 HP. Does
Yeah.
fall to
Watson
Zach.
is-
Very winnable for UC
Yeah.
here. The rush out, though.
Here's the Blizzard as well.
Zach finds one. Oh, no, that was from before. Never mind. Akioto
I
still
like
got
that Blizzard
overclock.
from Zach though. It gives him space.
Yep. Gave him time. Gave him
Yeah.
space there.
Able
Yeah,
to
the
reset.
supports will be coming back here.
Yeah. Zach though doesn't have. Okay, now he got healed now. I was gonna say Zach didn't have blocks, so he was very very low.
No else on the board besides Sifty's Annihilation, which would be so big for helping anchor this point here.
Rowan's very low still as well. Zach's about to fall. Oh, he popped off.
Quinn's so low.
Quinn.
Sifty finds the kill. It's a huge kill.
Yeah.
Now PSU are going to be forced to back.
Lightning
Akioto
finds
goes down.
Akioto
It's going
and
to be
Zach's
clean
like burst.
team wipe.
Yeah.
That is
And
a
now-
big team fight win.
PSU are in danger of being full held here.
Watson's gonna
be
killed
staggered.
as well, yeah.
We've got one and a half fights left here.
I don't know about you guys, but I
PSU,
would
no
like,
ults online.
yeah. I don't know about you. I would like to see Bryson swap to this May here. Like I said, I think that was working better for him.
I think,
And
yeah.
I don't think they're getting as much value from this Torb as they thought they would.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to take the off angle here on the Torb on attack.
Yeah. And UC's in a great spot here as well with.
Oh,
That was
a huge vortex
Yeah.
by Sifty.
able to kill both DBS with it, and they're going to be able to stagger Watson here as well.
Now this is going to be last fight, and UC have the rush and the annihilation online.
Yeah.
PSU still nothing, converging on that grab.
Yeah, I was going to say, they're going to have this grab by the end of this fight. But UC at the same time, as you said, they have Annihilation and Rush. But they also are going to have Lucio, May, and Clock by the end of it as well.
Zach's looking for a big wall here. Will he find anything?
He's going to be able to get the Zarya.
Does get the Zarya
We're
walled
going to
off.
force bubbles here.
Yeah.
There's one.
Exactly. Very
There's
good.
the other.
Got both
There's
of
the
them out.
grab too.
It's,
Defensive
it's all right.
grab. Is
Only
anyone
gets
even going to
50.
touch?
It's stuck on Sifty.
No one
touches! They see
AC9.
nine! They
You
see
see.
nine!
Wow.
UC wins it. That was a great play by Sifty, though. Taking
Yeah.
that fight early, forced
Yeah, I
forced
love
Watson
that.
to grab, and then they just didn't realize that they were so close to the end of the game.
Rowan once again, just
Yeah.
the absolute madman that he is on the Sojourn. Picks
Yeah,
up
this
one
Huge
there.
here.
Yeah, this
These
is what
kills
helped
to
win
secure
them
the
this.
cap.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so good.
Kills Watson, kills Akioto, and then
Kills
is able to
Quinn.
get Quinn here as well.
Bam. God,
That's a
he's
nice
just so
shot.
good.
Yeah, that was great. As I said though, I think the May would have made a big difference
Yeah,
there if
definitely.
If they decided to
The
play.
Torb did not really do much
Yeah,
at all.
weren't able to do a lot with it.
But after that map, we're gonna go ahead and throw it to a quick break while we figure out the next map and the next bands. We'll see you guys in just a sec. Don't go anywhere.
Yeah.
All right, and we are back once again. Penn State decided to take Cincinnati to Suravasa.
Suravasa, yes.
Yes.
A pretty solid map for the Zarya here, and it's going to be even more challenging for UC playing into this because Penn State have elected to ban the Ramatra,
Yeah.
which is UC's primary counter to the Zarya here.
I will say, though, then UC did decide to ban the Ana, which is what Big Bomb has been playing most of the time, and it's probably his best hero, I would say.
Yeah, so we may see a Juno Brig or a Juno Kiri, I think, out of Penn State.
See, I was right. They are swapping Wanston.
Oh,
so
interesting.
it's looking like we might have a Malgamir.
They're going to have the Malgamir.
Yeah, because
so
we think UC, now that Ram is now banned, we think that they are probably likely to go towards the Malga
Interesting.
over the Zarya or anything like that.
I would have thought Penn State would
However,
play the
Run the
Zarya.
Zar, yeah.
However, now that Bryson is going in, I feel like we could see Stifty play some Orisa here into the Malga.
Potentially. I think Stifty is confident in his Malga, so I would expect a Malga.
I mean, he played Malga yesterday and ran into a wall. I don't know how confident he is
He'll
because
be confident.
he ran into a
Yeah,
wall
we'll
and
see.
then immediately swapped. So
Yeah,
But
That was also into Orisa.
that's also true. That was into Orisa. So I don't know. I can, but like I said, I can see him switching and playing some Orisa here into that Malga.
yeah, I could see that too. Either, I
but-
think I can see either.
I don't think there's much options, especially with Bryson in now on the Malga. I think they're really down to 2 or 3 options now.
So now that Wanston is in at DPS, do you think he's going to run the May or the Reaper?
I think he's gonna run the Reaper here.
You think he's gonna run the Reaper?
Yeah, the Reaper goes so well with that
Yeah.
Malga. The Death Blossom Cage is a very
Yeah.
good alt combo.
Yeah, I just think also May's just weaker on Cerebos, I think.
So
compared to the
then,
Reaper.
with that in mind, how do you think UC is going to adjust?
I think UC stays to what they're good at. I think they're gonna stay on that Soj and that Torb. I think Nacho and Lightning, I think, are gonna stay on that Lucio Curie that they've been, famous for during this tournament and playing. And then, as we said, I think Stifty's gonna
Probably-
play on that Malga or that Orisa.
Yeah, I think Stifty's going to have a hard time running a Malgamir
Yeah.
with that comp, so I would
That's
expect
true,
maybe an
yeah.
Orisa if we're going to go that, if the rest of the team is going to go that direction.
Yeah,
But we'll see. I could see them also playing Malga, Juno,
that's a good
Kiri,
point. Yeah,
Juno
if they
Brig,
do
Yeah,
end up playing,
true.
potentially.
yeah. I mean, they're not necessarily needing to. Well, I guess Kiri wouldn't be a horrible thing to play, even if Ana's banned now. With
Yeah,
the Malga, but
Kiri is still just so
yeah,
good on her
still
own.
very good. Yeah,
Even
Yeah.
despite not having the Ana being present, the Kitsune, the
Yeah.
double TP, stuff like that.
it's gonna be very interesting to see
Yeah.
what's played here, though.
Yeah.
Especially now, like I said, with Big Bomb having Ana banned, I'm expecting probably some Juno Brig out of Penn State. I think
Yeah.
that's what we're gonna go towards. I think.
Yeah, I think so.
But and then Akioto is gonna stay on what he's been staying on. I don't think he's gonna swap off that Sojourn. I don't think it's necessary.
Yeah, probably not. We are going to go ahead and jump into that gameplay here shortly for you guys. Welcome to Suravasa.
Yeah. We got some early hovers of a ball from Snifty there, but I don't.
I doubt it.
I don't think he's gonna play it, especially into the Malga here. I don't think it's gonna end up on some ball.
Is this the crocodile map? Is it the map where there's the crocodiles in the water?
Ooh.
I don't know
know.
about that one.
Is this also a bird map? Are the birds on this map?
Yeah, there are pigeons, I
was
think.
gonna say,
Okay.
I can
I think there
confirm
are
that one,
pigeons.
but
And
I
I-
don't know about crocodiles. on
I know
one.
that. Wait, pan down, observer, real quick. We
Can
pan
get a-
down
Can we get a pan downwards
into the water.
into
perhaps?
the water, please?
Nope, we won't.
We're not gonna get one.
We're getting nothing, and we'll like it. That's all right. We are gonna run the Maga Mirror, like
NA
you guys
production.
predicted. Yep.
Yeah, so I'm expecting. I mean,
Yeah.
I think Lightning's not gonna. I was gonna say, I think Lightning's gonna swap towards that Curie or that Brig.
Yeah. Either works. The Kiri can chunk the Malga really well. The Rush is good to engage. The Brig keeps your Juno alive really well with those packs.
Yeah.
And also the Rally can cancel Death Blossom or it can cancel Cage.
Yeah, and
But
Penn
it looks
State's
like
staying
he's
with what we
gonna-
thought they were gonna play here.
Yeah, and Torb's Soj in the Malga Mirror. It'll be interesting to see how much value this Torb can get. I'm a little skeptical.
Yeah, I feel like the Torb's gonna be good, especially into that Reaper, but I don't know. I think UC's got more poke than Penn State does. Akioto falls very low.
Already
really
low.
quick, Yeah.
Took a couple Cheetos to the head, I think, there. Rowan now on this top right high ground is unfortunately forced down
Yeah.
due to that disruptor shot from Akioto.
Bryson, though, is
Bryson's
very
wow.
low. I think that was a
Blown
headshot
up.
from Rohan, I think, and Nacho. Or not Nacho, Lightning.
Yeah, you're expecting
Yeah.
Nacho to be on the
Well,
carry.
he's normally on the carry. Big Bomb does the fall, though, to Stifty, and Nacho is going to be able to get once in there with those torpedoes, and UC will get first cap. Very convincingly, I will say.
And what we see here from UC was they elected to go outside, or
Yeah.
not outside, inside on that long angle,
Yeah.
and their Soj is just able to get so much more value.
Plus with
The
the
Soj
Torb
and the
as
Torb
well.
chunk
Yeah.
that Mauga down so low, so quick, and they
Big
won the
Bomb
fight
is
off of
also
that.
going to swap off of that Brig and onto that Kiri here
I-
as well.
PSU are going to have to look to go fast out of this.
Watson's very low. Watson
Watson
falls
goes
early to
down.
Rowan.
Nice shot there from Rowan.
This is UC's win condition. They want to get these picks, get this damage in
Yeah.
through this long corridor before PSU can get on top of them.
Rowan on a nice
Rowan,
flank
I was
here.
gonna say, Rowan's playing very aggressive.
And-
Electing to come back out though after that the Juno marked him there.
Watson's going to match the Torb.
Rowan is going to continue to play this high ground. I think that's when he can. I think that's exactly what he should do, because if you give this high ground to Akioto, I think this turns very bad very quickly.
I like this from UC too. They're playing on this far side of the point. They're not playing super close to where PSU are.
Falls
Quinn
very low
gets the
there.
orbital first.
However,
They're gonna have to
UC
give
is gonna
space
counter
here.
with the rush.
Everybody on
Stifty
UC
very
low.
low. Stifty falls. I think, yeah, UC's just gonna probably lose this fight and back up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's a
Nacho does kill Akioto.
big trade there.
I do think Nacho is gonna get late spawn, I think, though, for that.
I don't
Let's
think
see.
so. I think they're all gonna go
Oh
together.
no, yeah, he did get group spawn.
4
That's
ults for UC
That's good
here.
because Akioto's not gonna be back in time before Red should be there.
And critically with those ults is Junewall and
Yeah.
PSU
Yeah.
does not have a June ult to match. So
Yeah.
I would expect a quick June ult fight here
Yeah.
for UC.
Maybe an overclock as well from Rowan.
Bryson
with
does
it.
have the cage though. Stifty 95% to his.
Ooh,
Stifty
falling
falling
so
real
low.
low. There's the cage out
Juno
now from
into
Bryson.
the cage though. The
Juno
cage just
ult around.
obliterates.
Both overclocks,
Both
every
right
single
now.
ultimate
Out.
coming out now. The overclocks are going crazy.
I don't
The
even know what's
molten
happening.
cores are going crazy. There's so many colors on my
2v3.
screen right now.
Akioto is able to win this fight.
I think in
though,
the end, yeah,
for
Akioto
Penn
just
State,
solos
yeah.
that.
Akioto ends up killing 3 there, and that's what really ends up saving this fight for Penn State. Because I think if Akioto doesn't kill 3 there, I think UC ends up winning that.
Yeah, the Mauga got chunked. Akioto
Yeah.
was able to chunk the Mauga early, which
Yeah.
forced ults out of UC and probably a little bit sooner than they wanted.
Yeah.
A little bit more defensively than they wanted.
However, both teams did use pretty much everything. Quinn is coming up on that Juno wall, and Lightning is coming up on that rush, but Quinn is going to have it before Lightning will.
Yeah, this Juno alt stagger is really good for PSU.
PSU are taking like a bit of a split angle here. You've got some coming up on this high ground and some on this left side lane here
I
now.
like this from UC though. I like it. I like them pushing that high ground and forcing Penn State to back up, because now they have control of the point, and I think they're going to get first cap here.
Here comes
Oh.
the Maga though to say no,
Here
no,
comes the
no.
orbital.
Yeah.
There's the
Very
orbital.
dangerous slide from Rowan there. Able to get out though. Stifty though
Stifty's
is
so low.
just barely gonna
Gets
get
the
out.
Suzu.
Does
They do
survive
have
though.
rush though. UC I think is gonna re-engage this with Snare Rush in a second here.
Yeah, you're happy with that if you're UC.
Yeah.
You give up point flip, but you also get
But,
the rush out
yeah.
and the orbital out, and now rush from Lightning on the re-engage.
Nacho
But
does
Stifty falling
fall
so
though.
low.
Wow,
Oh.
Stifty and Nacho both get picked though.
Bryson
They
might
are
be
able to kill
traded.
Bryson.
It's definitely still
And
winnable
Quinn
for
is
UC.
still very winnable.
Rowan,
Rowan
Zach-
finding the shot, Zek killing the Torb, but now UC has numbers.
Yeah.
Rowan going an absolute tear.
Look at Sojo.
Oh,
Gets
Rowan.
the 3K.
Wow. All right. That was
Huge shots
that was
from Rowan
big from
there.
the DPS of UC. Yeah. Rowan and Zach pulled that out.
UC do get the point flip there,
Yeah.
but Penn State were able to take up to 40% there. So.
Yeah, and Penn State's in a great spot to win this next fight. They have Cage and Rush, plus they're coming up on Torb and Overclock. UC's in a very similar state as well, but I think Penn State has the advantage here with what they're coming up with.
UC is coming up on orbital though. Went
That's
nowhere
also
close
true,
to
yeah.
his.
Yeah, that orbital ray is such a huge win condition here, especially with all the
Right,
other
Lightning,
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 ping
shots.
Watson early.
Some great kunais.
Very, very
love this
interesting
angle from
angle.
Lightning.
Yeah,
this is
I love this.
fantastic.
He's able to
Finding
able to
more
overkill
shots.
Akioto and Quinn.
Quinn
Rowan's
and
able to finish it
Akioto
off.
low.
Ooh,
Does get
Akioto
tanked
is able
by
to kill
Akioto
Lightning,
though.
I
It's a little
still
bit over-aggressive
favor
there.
this into UC though, because Nacho has that right. It's still very winnable for UC.
We're gonna get a big alt dump fight here.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be crazy.
I'm
I
gonna
mean-
love understanding what's going on
I'm
in
guessing
this fight.
I'm gonna say both cages
There's
and
the
roll.
cage. There's the ray. There's
And
the
Torb.
and an overclock.
Yeah,
and a rush.
Bryson falling so
4
low.
ults.
Yeah.
Nacho goes down.
It's the kill
UC's
feed though,
gonna
lighting
win
up
it.
red.
Yeah, UC.
Looks like UC will be
Quinn
able
very
to,
low as well.
UC
They
will
don't
be able
touch.
to take this point.
They
Yeah.
do not touch. UC is gonna win it. Big bomb as well. Ooh, just barely gonna get out. It looks like. That
think
is
UC won
Overwatch,
these.
folks. None of us know what just went on in that fight, but Red came out with the win and won the point. Everyone hit Q.
I think UC probably wanted to get those kills, but
Yeah.
it's the quick supports.
Yeah.
They can't.
UC does come out with the advantage in that though, because
Yeah.
Yeah.
Penn State only has Junoa going into this. Rohan and Lightning both still have ults. I can see UC with the early cap here.
Yeah, but that orbital ray is so
Very
dangerous.
true, very true.
And I think that's what they're going to use to
Penn
engage
State's
on
gonna
this
look
fight
to use
here.
it here in a second, I think.
There's the rush though from
Rush.
Lightning, and there's
the
that
Juno,
orbital ray.
yeah.
Will Rowan use the overclock here to try and take this?
They
Penn
use the
State
point.
do cap the point already though.
Nacho's very low as well. Gonna get healed up. Bryson falling very low there. Able to get healed up.
There's
Here
the
comes the
clock.
clock.
Ooh, Akioto
Akioto
chunks
very
really
low,
low.
I think they're gonna look to kill
Bryson
this.
on the mount goes
Yeah.
low. Oh,
Able to
Pops
heal
E
though.
gets back
Yeah.
up to full.
Rowan and Stifty are also both very low though here. This is gonna be very interesting how this
Rowan
support's low on the
slides into
flank.
the 3
Oh.
members of PSU there.
Akioto able to kill both Rowan and Lightning on the flank.
Akioto's on a nasty flank here.
Kills
Gets a
Nacho
good
as
shot there
well.
on a Nacho. Is he able to take down the rest of UC?
Yeah.
Finds
I believe
Stifty
he
here.
will.
Stifty on a very low HP. They're going to try and stagger him just a little bit, but
Oh!
Stifty's stalling the point for
I
a
was gonna
while
say,
now.
This is still in UC's advantage here now.
That could take out Akioto here, but doesn't quite get it in time. UC do manage to get 45%.
I was gonna say that was great from UC. They got an extra 20% off of just those stalls alone. They were able to flip point in the middle of that fight, and that was great. However, Penn State does have Cage and Rush and Clock, and they're coming up on Torb and Juno. They're in a very great spot to win this fight.
UC though
And
does
Flame.
have Cage and Molten Core as well as a Ray of their own
Yeah.
coming up.
Yeah, that's very true, very true. This is still favorable for what UC to also be able to win it. Got a Cage.
Bryson's gonna find the
There's both
cage.
cages.
Cage is coming out, and Juno.
And the Torball into the
Both-
cage. That's
yeah.
going to be so strong here for Zach. Oh, this Stifty and Lightning will
Yeah.
fall, and it looks like
Akioto
Penn
is
State are gonna
able
win that ult
to
trade.
kill 3 there as well without even using Clock. They
in
used,
Penn State, they win the fight with only 2 ults. UC used 3.
and they're gonna win the point here as well. UC's not able to touch, so it's just gonna go to the next point.
Yeah, this is not good for UC.
Looks like
Penn State
we
in a
are
very good
going
spot here.
to Palace.
Palace.
There you go. I couldn't remember what the name was. Yeah, we are going to Palace. I think
Penn State.
I was gonna say I think Penn State's gonna cap this.
They've got
That's what they
3
have.
ults,
Yeah, they.
including that orbital ray.
Yeah, they're in a
UC
great
has
spot.
nothing.
Yeah.
So
I think Akioto's gonna.
this
win
is
the spot
very,
here
very
early.
tough for UC.
I think they're gonna try to save that Ray if they can. I think Akioto's gonna want to use overclock and see what we can get with it.
They are going to go ahead and opt for this upper high ground take, it looks like. They're not going to just directly attack the point from the easiest
I like that from Penn
path
State.
of least
I
resistance,
do.
you could
I like
say.
that from Penn State. I think you give Akioto this high ground control. Same thing with Wanston.
Wanston's
falls
so
very
low.
there.
Akioto low as well.
Wanston's
Lightning with
still
these
very
kunai.
low.
Yeah, Lightning has been
Lights
finding
out.
shots on the Q9.
Lightning almost takes a headshot there from Akioto.
Still no point capture from either team.
Yeah.
The Mongols are kind of just staring at each other on point, but
Here's
here
the
come
Juno
all of the
ult.
ultimates.
Rowan,
Quinn
though,
goes
does
down.
kill Quinn.
Owen with the overclock.
He also kills Wanston.
Rowan's gonna fall
Akioto
low.
is gonna get the trade though.
Lightning now trying to duel this Sojourn. Drops that Kitsune
Akioto
rush out,
able
but
to kill
Akioto with the
Lightning.
overclock takes him out instead. Akioto still
It's still in UC's
100
favor,
energy
though.
in that railgun.
Nacho
UC is
wrong
gonna
low.
win it. UC is gonna win it. Nacho stayed alive, and that's what really won it. Plus, they got Cap as well during that after killing Bryson. They were able to kill Bryson on point since Quinn died, and then once they got point Cap, they were Lightning just never. Nacho never died. And Penn State used 3 of their ults for that, and they ended up losing. That's not great for Penn State.
Nacho has orbital ray advantage here.
Yeah.
Both cages coming online.
You also though have Zach with Torball. I think UC's in a great spot.
Penn State.
Akioto though gets
Nacho,
Nacho
it's
on a
a
flank.
huge kill. No orbital ray here.
Rowan though does kill Quinn and Zach kills
Akioto.
Akioto.
killed in this tiny
Stifty on 1
hallway.
HP though.
Stifty,
Lightning
though,
does
is gonna
TP
be
to
able to
save
get
his
out,
life.
yeah.
There's the cage fight now out for Bryson, and the Kitsune rush now for
Did he
Big Bomb.
catch anybody? He didn't catch anybody.
I
Didn't
don't
catch
think he
anybody, but
did.
he did capture
Yeah.
the point from
Yeah,
UC, and now it's the
though, is
cage
gonna
from
come and use that
Stifty.
cage. Yeah, this is gonna be a
He's
fight win
losing
for
the health
UC.
trade, but
Doesn't
picks come
matter.
through.
Yeah.
The entirety of UC is there. UC does
bullied
still
by our crowd
have
manager.
4 ults to their name. Hopefully they won't have to use any
Yeah, I
on
was
this
gonna say,
last fight.
I don't think Penn State's gonna touch
Yeah,
this.
I don't think
they're
Penn
gonna
State
roll
wants
to
to
the next
touch.
map. They have close spawn. They're gonna go to the next map, and they're
We're
gonna
gonna
be
go
there
to a
first.
5th point here on this last
Yeah.
point map.
I would favor this though towards UC to
Yeah,
start.
UC
I mean,
looking good. They have 4 ults, and Penn State has none.
Oh. All right, we're good now. Yeah, I mean, Penn State's in a great spot though to win the next fight if they lose this one. If they lose this first one, they're still in a great spot to win the next one because they'll have 3 ults going into the next fight.
UC has to be
So-
careful here not to dump more
That's what I
ults
was
than they
gonna
need
say.
to.
Yeah, they have to be careful with what they use. Rowan on a
Rowan,
flank
I
with
like this
overclock.
opening overclock.
This is a
Falls real
very
low.
dangerous spot to be in though. by
Kyoto
himself.
goes down.
Bryson is very low
Bryson
though.
is
I
so
think
low.
you can get him still. Oh, they're not gonna be
Nah,
able to
both
push
supports
kill.
are still alive
They're
there
gonna
for
let the cap
PSU.
here instead. Oh, Stifty going in. Maybe
I
a
like
little bit
the idea of
early.
cap.
Takes a lot of damage.
I like both orbital rays.
orbital
both
rays
here.
come
There's the
out.
molten core as well now from Wanston.
And from Zach.
Zach.
Both Molten Cores coming
Can't
out
walk
here.
anywhere
Lots
on
of
the
goop
map.
all over the field.
Yeah. He kills Big Bomb with Molten Core and is able to kill Wanston as well. Akioto
He's gonna
does
be
kill
traded.
2.
Akioto, the double trade. He's got the
Rowan
double
is
block.
back though.
Akioto
Rowan is
is
back
so
very
low.
well. He's able to kill Akioto.
Kunai will find
Lightning
him.
ups to
Bryson
use the
goes
Kitsune
down.
rush.
Timmy finds Akioto. And Rowan and Stifty are able to finally clean up this fight, and that was great from UC. I mean, they used definitely more than they probably wanted to, but so did Penn State. Penn State did also use.
I don't think that the Kitsune rush there was very...
Oh yeah, Lightning did use
yeah.
it. Yeah, I didn't notice that.
I think it was more of a panic ult.
Maybe,
saw,
yeah, just to be safe. Yeah.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah,
No,
you'd rather win
This
it and
last
get
fight
this cap.
for
Yeah.
UC here
This
though.
is the last fight.
but
yeah.
PSU does have 3 ults of their
Yeah.
own, including that cage fight and that rush.
They
And
are gonna keep
Akioto...
Rowan, yeah. I
They
think
they
this
won't
is
need
very
them.
good. Yeah.
Yeah, they might not.
They
But
already used them,
Akioto uses
though.
that overclock and the Kitsune rush. They really want to capture this point. Does find Zek the Snack and Stifty's on 1 HP. Also gets Lightning. That's a nice shot. Gets a 3K. Can he make it a 4? Yes, he can. Akioto.
You know
Putting
what,
in a
though?
highlight reel here.
You know what though? That's fine for UC. Akioto and Big Bomb both used their ults, and UC is at 99%, and they have 3 ult. They'll have 3 ults hopefully by the end of this point at least. You know, I mean they have Stifty, they have Rowan's ult right now. However, I don't think they're gonna look to try to use them. Bryson and Quinn are both gonna have their ults here. I think they just try to save this and dry fight it, unless you know Rohan finds a headshot early. No, if he finds a headshot early, then maybe they do use them. You know.
I think Lightning's going to get the headshots early and find the
That's
kill.
also fair. He could get one. He has been
Akioto,
very
though,
good with these kunais today.
he's got 100 energy in that railgun. Does find the torp turret kill.
Rowan almost able to kill Quinn there.
Pops that
Can they
overclock.
get
Orbital
one
Ray
Cage
will
fight.
come out here.
Orbital Ray. Both
Not
cages.
able to get Wanston,
Oh,
and
the
Rowan's
turret.
gonna fall to Quinn. Akioto's
Oh,
gonna
this
find
is
Nacho
not
as
good.
well.
Are they? I don't know if they'll get a touch here. It's gonna have
Gonna
to
be
be.
Yeah.
close. I will say though, you see, if they can get a touch, they're in a great spot.
I don't think they can. If
Stifty's
Stifty's
going
over
to
to
the
the ball,
ball, he's
Rowan's
gonna
on the
be able to get
tracer
a
too.
touch.
They're really gonna try and touch this point.
They're gonna get a touch.
They're gonna get a touch, but
They don't have the perks. They don't have.
That's fine. They have both
They don't have
support coming up.
ults. I guess they have support
Yeah, they
ults,
have
but
both support
And,
ults.
and Penn
Just
State
have
has
to try to
nothing.
stall
If
this
they
fight
can
out
stall
here.
this out, yeah.
there's the rush.
Here comes the rush.
Can Rowan find a pick with it? But Lightning falls to Wanston first, and Stifty's on real low
Stifty goes
HP.
low.
Akioto takes out
Nacho
Stifty.
has all here in a
Nacho does not
Wow,
have the
it's not
ult
gonna
yet in
matter.
time here.
Penn State is gonna pull it out.
Penn State take
Wow.
Saravasa 3-2 over UC. We've got a
Wow.
game on our hands,
Yeah,
folks.
we're going to map 4 now. I don't know how I feel about that. I wish UC kept those ults. I do. Because I think if they had let Penn State use what they used and then were able to save their ults, I think they win the next fight. I do. I think they would have been able to come back and use their ults and win. However, maybe
Yeah.
though their ults don't even get. Penn State doesn't even use ults.
Akioto, though, here put on
Oh yeah,
insane work.
This is what capped first point was Akioto with this big play here.
And not even just on that first point, but throughout
Yeah,
all of the
throughout,
points
yeah.
on this map,
Yeah.
Akioto and Rowan too,
Yeah.
both put on
Very
incredible,
well played, yeah.
I would say works of art from that sojourn.
Works of art.
That
I
was
will
fantastic.
say though, lightning on that. I think it was.
Kiri.
I think it was the third point.
Okay.
With that big flank over into.
Yeah.
that ended
Getting
up
a
winning
couple
them.
headshots there. Yeah, that
exactly,
was really well
very
done.
good flank as well. I mean, they're playing very high level right now.
Yeah.
This is definitely worthy of some loser bracket finals. This is very good Overwatch right now.
With that being said, though, we're gonna send it to a quick break as we figure out this next map and some bans. See you guys in a sec. Don't go anywhere. All right. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to Coliseum.
Yeah, I mean, this is a great game. We're sitting at 2-1 right now towards UC, but this is going to be
Been three
very
very
interesting
tight
game.
maps as well.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
going to say, especially that last map, Servasa. That was a very
That was
Yes.
such a good
very
map.
close map. I mean, 99-99, 2-2. I mean, that was a very, very close map. Could have went either way, especially in that final fight there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now for Coliseum, we have Tracer and Curie bands out. I'm not sure what we're going to see.
Bryson is staying on tank.
On
so
tank,
it's
so
probably,
we're going to see the Maga.
I was going to say, we're probably going to see that Malga here. Earlier on the secondary broadcast, Michigan and UC played earlier, and they were playing some ball earlier.
Yeah,
So
could see the
maybe
ball
might
coming
see
out.
that coming out from UC today.
Especially
again.
if we're going to see the Malga.
Yeah.
I think the ball will be better than Winston.
Maybe, yeah, but I also
could see
them
some
playing
Ram.
Yeah, I was gonna say instead of the ball because ball is not as great in Demalga.
Yeah, we'll see what
We'll see though. Yeah,
they
we'll see
roll
what
out
pick
on.
out.
A lot of options.
So, PSU banned Kiri.
That's
Target
I
ban
would
towards
say-
Nacho?
I was gonna say I would
Or
say
towards Lightning.
That's very bad for UC. I think either way it's bad. I mean, Nick Nacho, there you go. I'm gonna make that happen. And Lightning, they both are very good at that Curie, even though, Lightning's not even really known for his Curie as much.
Yeah,
still
Lightning's
very good at it.
More of the main support
Yeah,
there.
still very good at it. Still a very good option for UC and a very much a comfort pick.
Then
So,
UC with the Tracer ban.
I think that's a. I think
I'm not
that's
sure
Yeah.
what that was. I think maybe
it's a safe.
we don't have a great Tracer, and
Yeah.
if we're taking a dive mirror, we don't want a
Yeah.
Tracer mirror. I think is the reasoning behind that.
I think it's a protect ban for something they want to play. I think
That
they just had
could be true.
I
as
think
well.
they just had nothing that they really wanted to ban, and that they thought was worth banning, so they just banned Tracer to kind of protect what they were gonna play.
I did see
Yeah.
Rowan
Keep
hover
that
over
from-
the Farah there.
He did
for
hover a little
sec.
bit of the Farah, yeah.
So we might see some of that later on in this match. Rowan
'cause-
is quite well versed in the Farah.
Yeah.
I think we need this. We need the Sojourn into this Mauga here. I think so. If
Yeah.
we see a Faro, it'll probably be Zach. I
This
know
is
he also
also-
has that
True.
in his
Yeah.
wheelhouse.
This is still very good for UC though with the Curie ban from Penn State. It still opens up the Malga comp to that on the name. Even if they're playing Gino, it still opens that up. So it's still a very decent trade for UC.
UC here kind of giving a little bit of space to PSU, but opening up those angles for them, trying to
Yeah.
take advantage of those before the bot even opens up.
Quinn falling very low here, and so Stifty. Stifty is forced
Ooh,
to
he
use
gets
Nemesis
antied.
early.
And he
Oh,
falls
yeah,
from
he's
that
gonna
anti,
fall.
but Rowan
Rowan
does
get
find
Big
a
Bump,
trade
yeah.
there onto Big Bump,
And
thankfully.
Akioto is falling very low as well. Akioto, though, is going to get Zach. It's up
And
to-
Lightning does
yeah.
fall, unfortunately, as well for the Bearcats now. Nacho does get
Maybe
that
some
trade.
points could happen here.
Akioto
Bronson goes down.
finishes him
Akioto's
off, though.
low, but
Rowan's just gonna back up and give space until Stifty gets back, which shouldn't be too long here. He should be able to get back here before we get into this archway.
Bryson on the Maga really likes slamming in onto the back line, especially when those anti-nades go off. So definitely see more of that as we go on now. Akioto shot that disruptor shot off. Now giving some space towards UC as they regrouped back on that bot now.
I will say though, Penn State's in a great spot here. Quinn's about to have Juno, and I expect Penn State to start walking here soon with
yeah,
these Juno.
it's gonna be tough for Stifty.
Yeah.
And that Juno wall, I feel he's just gonna get shredded.
Here comes the ring first as the ult to follow. Akioto taking down Rowan before the ult even comes out now.
Stifty as well.
Finds another one there on a Stifty. Akioto
Yeah, they don't even need Juno.
tossing his hat in the ring for the best Sojourn player. Bryson finding two there in the end as PSU will continue to push that wall towards the end.
And we have a Mauga swap coming out from Stifty. You're gonna want to mirror that Mauga here.
I don't hate this. I don't. I think
don't hate this.
playing Ram into Malga towards Soj is very difficult, especially with that auto-nade as well. I think it's very decent swap. I will say Penn State though has all of their ults.
Yep.
Stifty though, Nano,
Nano Mauga.
and Anti.
Met with the
immediately.
orbital.
This is.
Bunch of colors on my screen. I don't know what's going
I
on.
was gonna say.
He's able to get out.
Yeah. They also. Big
Gonna
Bomb
prevent
used that
forward.
that nano as well, so they weren't able to use that nano for anything. So that was good from Red.
Plus he's so low, but the cage saves him. The beat for the cage.
Yeah, but
Akioto
now.
firing in that cage, doing so much damage, but Bryson goes down.
Akioto not able to find
Akioto's
anything
so
with that
low. will be kept up by the Juno, but
Yeah.
it's like UC is gonna make some space here. PSU losing their tank, electing to just back out.
Akioto finds something with that overclock. I think it might have been, it could have been possibly something that Penn State could have won, but not able to find anything with that, so Akioto and the rest of Penn State just have to back up.
Penn State, though, they barely allow UC to push that bot
Yeah,
any,
not able
at
to
all.
get
They're
very far.
playing this very, very aggressively.
Bryson is very low, though, during this. Same thing with Stifty.
He's winning the health battle, though, with that cardiac overdrive.
Yeah. Rowan over here using overclock. I like it. He's able to almost kill Akioto. Akioto does fall to
Robo
lightning.
down.
He also... Bryson is very low in this room. I think they should be able to kill Bryson here.
That was a dangerous wall right
Bryson
there for lightning.
is able to fall.
He's 2 HP antied and in the range of a torp turret, but I think someone shot it just before he was
Well,
out there.
Lightning is a psychopath.
That too.
Have we not learned this? Like, because Lucio is very psychopathic.
Stifty does got that cage fight. He's playing on
Yeah.
a very aggressive point here.
Penn State, though, is in a great spot. They have this Juno again from Quinn, and you know, as much as Stifty and Nacho want to make this happen with Cage and Nano, I think Quinn's just going to use that Juno, and it's going to be real hard for UC.
We'll see how they elect to use the Nano here. Maybe a Nano Mauga engage.
Yep.
Yeah, looks like it. And the Cage.
Oh, Bryson's so low in
Bryson
the
is very
cage.
low. He does get Nanoed, though.
Yeah,
However,
gets Nanoed and
Zach
ulted.
does,
out.
yeah, Zach does find Watson, and Quinn falls to Nacho. Akioto does get Sifty, but Big Bomb ends up dying to Zach. And I think
Everything
Bryson,
invested into Bryson
just the
there
Mauga.
I think Bryson's gonna
to
fall
win
here
the
as well.
tank trade, but UC wins the fight.
Yeah, they won. They won the tank trade, but Nacho was able to pick Quinn, and once Quinn died, it just went downhill from there.
That's going to mark the lead and the forward spawn there for
Yes.
the University of Cincinnati.
Very well played by UC.
They still have the beat there, too.
Yeah. I mean,
For that cage fight that Bryson
yeah.
has.
I mean, Penn State invested both support ults, so as you see, you're very happy with that. You know, you got forward spawn, you got lead, and you got out both support ults and won the fight still. So, however, Bryson is stealing the point.
Yeah, Penn State did steal that bot. Gonna walk him back
I
to the
think
middle.
though, as you see, you're fine with that.
Oh,
That's
Rowan kills Quinn, but it's
unfortunate.
gonna go down with the overclock.
Cage coming out now for Bryson.
Yeah.
Lightning did
He
not
falls, Nacho falls.
didn't use the sound barrier there, but I think that's fine. They kind of already assumed that
Yeah.
was a lost fight, and they already committed one ult
Yeah.
to that, so they don't want to commit anymore.
I mean, that's very unlucky for UC. Rowan had a great angle onto that back line with that overclock. He just...
He felt a little low.
Yeah, he just wasn't able to get healing because the rest of UC backed up so far. And then he wasn't able to live. However,
Big Bomb
Nacho
goes
does
down.
get a kill on Big Bomb, and wants to
Torb is
get
low.
the kill. And Wansa gets 2. However, Rowan and Zek get a kill.
It's traded out. It's
It's
a battle
just
between the
Zach.
Torb and the Mauga. Who will win?
I love this battle.
And it's unfortunately going to be the Mauga, but they are closer.
Yeah.
Oh, was that a little body shot there from Bryson?
However, Stifty is here. He's going to be able to take this point back. However, Penn
Yeah.
State will take that lead.
They took the lead, and they do have forward
from
spawn
UC.
still.
However,
And
UC does have better ult economy.
I think
would say.
PSU are going to try and stop this bot before it reaches that forward spawn.
Yes, probably. I would say so. Looking at where Bryson is positioned, I would say this is their plan.
Sifty falling low.
Yeah. I expect Akioto to look to use an early overclock here to try to see if he can get something out of it before UC is able to stabilize.
Sifty falling low again. Rowan falling low.
Here's the clock.
Akioto going in with the clock.
Not able to kill
Oh,
Rowan.
ooh,
Stifty on
stomp.
Stifty with a great stomp. Able to almost kill Bryson. He did get nanoed, however. Both
Cage is coming
Cage
out.
coming
Oh,
out.
Sifty low in the cage.
However,
But the moment
great
before-
That's a
torval.
big goop on the.
Great,
It's
great
all
ult from
over.
Zach.
It's everywhere.
Everywhere.
All over.
Does he get the
Everywhere.
torp tip? Yes, he does.
kills
Zach the
3.
Snack, the greatest Torbjorn that's ever lived.
Zach kills Zach kills 3. Nacho ends up killing Big Bomb as well at the
Rowan
end.
still has the overclock, and Lightning is
Yes.
very close to that orbital
Yes.
ray. I didn't
However,
even notice he swapped to that Juno.
Quinn does have that Juno ult as well, and Wanson's coming up on this
Penn State
Torval.
gonna take a fast fight here before UC
Yeah.
can take lead.
There's
Rowan
the clock
using
now for
that
Rowan,
ult.
but he's
Oh, yeah.
super, super low
Very
and got
low,
antied.
yeah.
No Suzu on the board
Not
to be able to cleanse
do
that.
anything with this, yeah. Not gonna be able to do anything with the overclock. It's a little unlucky. Akioto is on that flank though.
Akioto's on a very dangerous
Yeah.
flank, but he's got that double. Oh, no, he only has the single slide, actually.
Zek is antied as well and very low. So I
Bryson
Bryson
is low.
even
Oh.
lower.
both Juno ults coming out here. I great spot for Penn State to be in.
Stifty's a little split and is in that
Penn State
molten
is
core.
gonna get Stifty here as well, and Watson is gonna get Nacho. Zach and Rowan are gonna fall as well. Lightning.
Lightning isn't. I don't think Lightning's getting out here. I don't think he gets out here. He's on fire. He's gonna die.
Yeah, he's gonna fall.
That's a really bad stagger there for UC. If you're PSU, you're really happy that they got staggered there. PSU down in the ultimate economy, but they are up in the lead.
I would say Penn State's winning the ultimate economy, actually. Yeah,
Maybe.
They're winning it. I would say
It's about the same. About the same, actually, I should say.
Fair enough.
They do continue to push that lead on forward, though, now. UC weren't able to stop them super early.
5-man nade from Nacho. What a nade.
Massive. Able to get Quinn as well. Big Bump
Nano
also
comes
very
out from
low.
Stifty.
Zach the Sneck, though, getting targeted down by Bryson on the Maga, but they do clean up the fight there.
Yeah.
UC able to get that team kill, but they only have a minute left to come back and take this lead.
This is really bad for UC, because Penn State's still going to get those forward spawns, whereas Nacho and Zach are not going to. They should make it to this fight by the time it starts. But if I was UC, I would not be thrilled with where I'm at currently at the state of the game.
They're gonna have to win a couple fights here, probably.
Yeah. And Penn State's ult economy is in a great spot here. They have Nano and Cage. They're also coming up on clock. If you're Penn State, you're very happy about the state you're in. Rowan almost gets Akioto though.
Akioto's got a fantastic angle here with that Torb turret, also protecting him. I think he's got a Juno pocket up there too. He's just sitting pretty.
So, yeah, that's it. Stifty is
nated,
very low
low.
and nated. He's gonna have the cage to keep himself alive. They do nano
Forced
the
out the
Malga
nano.
in the cage, and then Stifty gets caged himself. Rowan though pops overclock as well as.
There's only this is last fight here. UC are in trouble.
Akioto still has clock as well. This is, I think, going to be Penn
UC's gonna
State's
need
win.
a miracle here.
Yeah.
It's like falling low. It's just the Juno.
Yeah, this is gonna be a win for Penn State on Kawo. Penn State played that very well.
Yeah, that was really, really well done in the Maga mirror there. I definitely think, personally, I think Lightning should have made the swap over to the Juno a little bit sooner. I don't think the Lucio with that sound barrier, as powerful of an ultimate as it is, it wasn't getting the value that they kind of wanted there.
I will say though, to UC's credit, that was much better once they swapped to the Malga. I think the RAM was very difficult for them to work with, and I think once they swapped to that Malga, it was much easier to deal with. Watson here with a great play as well, which ended up helping them get the lead here.
Yeah, that's what caused them to get the lead there was that big Tor play.
Yeah.
But after that map, you know what's coming next. We're going to go ahead and throw it to a quick break while we figure out this next map in these next few bands.
We're 2-2 here as well.
Yeah,
we're going
2-2.
to map 5 in losers finals.
We'll see you guys in a sec. All right, and we are back here once again. We are bringing you guys to Shambali for this map 5 gigabanger between Penn State and University of Cincinnati's red team.
Going to Nepal.
Shambali.
Yeah, technically.
Shambali is in Nepal.
Yeah,
I
it
mean, we are going to Nepal.
Yeah.
But
Aren't they like 2 feet apart from each other? Like, can't you see the Nepal
I
map
think
from
so.
Shambali?
I think so.
I think you can.
I didn't know
Cincinnati,
that.
I think so. Cincinnati is here banning Malga, which we all agree is a great pick here.
Yeah,
'cause
for
forcing
Cincinnati.
Bryson off of that Malga and you putting Watson back in on that Zarya, which they have had a better time facing, I would say, than Bryson on that Malga. Penn State also, they don't really have much of a choice, I feel like, in banning who they in their ban as well. So they banned Torb to affect Zach and Cincinnati there. Prod is doing something over there. I think these bans are great. I think these are great bans for both teams. I think this is going to really be a great final map with some very effective bans out here in the last one.
I think we're going to see some really cool plays coming out from both Stiff T and Wonston.
I think we're going to go back to that Zarya Ram mirror that we saw in the beginning, and it's going to be really fun.
So.
I think Zek is going to pull it on that May. I think I don't know. I don't know how much of his hero pool is really going to be an option here with the Zarya.
Junkrat, it's time.
I'm
busting.
You know
Bust
what?
out.
You know what? I can see it because then you blow up the Zarya faster. However, I don't
You're
think
just
they're gonna
feeding
play
her
her. I don't think
energy
you're going to
at
play
that
her.
point. Yeah.
Genji as well, it just doesn't work into Zarya really. So I'm not really sure what Zek's going to run here yet besides the May.
Yeah, I would expect a May from Zek here.
Yeah. Okay, there we go.
We had some ban issues. I think.
I was gonna say.
I think
that's
NA
what the
prod
issue is
happened
here.
and we didn't do the right bans.
No idea. It's going well over here.
Yeah, we'll find out shortly here.
We're all very tired. And we all have been here since what 9 a.m. give or
Yeah,
take.
9 a.m. this morning and 8 a.m. yesterday.
Yeah, I was gonna say all of prod is very tired.
We've had a long weekend,
Yeah.
but we're still here. We're still willing to put in the
I will
hours
say
of
though,
work.
we're tired, but the players.
You're tired.
Well,
I'm hyped. I'm excited.
I mean, I'm hyped as well. But
I'm
but
energetic.
what I was getting to was, imagine the players. They're probably even more tired than we are. They've been playing whole weekend. I mean, Penn State and UCal Red, less than others. Less than others. Oh no, Penn State did play a lot more.
Yeah, Penn State played a lot yesterday.
Penn State ended up in our losers bracket yesterday. So, but UCal Red ended up in our losers bracket just now. So they have only really played 2 or 3 matches now. So they're probably pretty fresh. But Penn State especially, they're got to be very tired.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
They've been playing a lot this weekend. So
Certainly.
So I'm wondering how much of a difference that will make as well, especially in this. Again, they're in a map 5. I mean, this is their 4th of this weekend.
It's like 6th.
I'm speaking of Penn State especially. Yeah.
Yeah, Penn State.
I think Penn State's in their 4th map 5 of this weekend. I think they're playing a lot of map 5s, and as you said, though, we're at like 6 or 7 this whole weekend.
We've had some absolutely insane games.
Great games this weekend, and I think that Penn State might have a little bit of issues with this being another map 5, but I also could be wrong. Penn State has played very well in these map 5s.
We see Rowan on the Widow.
Yeah, Rowan
Probably
on the
just
Widow,
off the
probably
off
just
rep.
probably just an off
look
rip.
for
Same
an
with
off rip pick.
Lightning on the
I was gonna say, I
Zenyatta.
think Lightning was either going for a shot or was just kind of trolling.
Yeah.
I
I think he's gonna go for the shot
think
and then
he's
swap
going
loose.
for a volley here, maybe
Yup.
seeing if he can catch Akioto or Big Bomb.
Off that high ground.
Yeah. Spectating Rowan
Does
here,
not quite
not able to
find
get that
anything.
shot. Rowan and Lightning are gonna swap to their comfort picks here. Not
Yep.
much different than what we thought was going. Bryson and Zach are both on that May, like we thought they would.
2 familiar comps for each team.
Yeah.
PSU playing their favorite comp here, and
And same
UCal
thing with
Red with a
UCal,
comp
yeah.
that they are very familiar with.
I mean, this is the most comfortable thing I think they have. You know, Nacho and Lightning on both of their 2 comfort picks. Same thing with Stiff T and Rowan. Zach, I would say is probably not on his most comfortable hero, but he's definitely not an incompetent May. He's definitely very serviceable on it.
I'm sure
I'd
a
say he's
comp that
more
they've
than
scrimmed
serviceable.
a lot on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely a lot of scrims.
Rowan's going to take a flank here, fight for this inside mega room.
Watson is very low here. Same thing with Big Bomb.
Forced
Big
out.
Bomb is gonna fall to Zach.
Austin is very low. They should
Yeah. Oh, Akioto is
Stiff T
in a
almost
very
has the
bad
form.
spot.
Oh, he gets the form in time.
He's stuck
Akioto
in a-
will fall.
He's
Stuck in a
on the
little
wall.
fence there. Happens to the best
Not
of us.
just gonna pick Akioto. That's a great pick to force Penn State back. However, Penn State,
They're playing this aggro.
they're in a they also have a great ult economy.
Yeah, they want to
You know,
hold this corner.
Yeah. Comparatively to UC, they have, I would say, a better ult economy since they have
Yes, I
closer
agree.
to Mayol than Zek is, but they're still in a great spot, both teams, when it comes to ult economy. I mean, Nacho's about to have this rush, and I'm expecting him to use it pretty early here.
Zek now forced to use that cryo.
Yeah, here comes that rush. Akioto is...
Bryson will go down.
Yeah.
Nacho with the first rush.
Wanston
It's big.
is
Oh,
very-
Akioto's going to go down
Wanston
as well. That
separates
should
is
just be
very
the
low.
point.
Yeah, Nacho's going to pick Wanston. Rohan is going to pick Akioto. That's a great fight from UC.
Hi, Ryan. Thanks for playing with us.
and UC only used one ult there. Only
Yeah.
used one ult and able to cap the point. And they still have 4.5 minutes on this.
Yeah, Nacho
the
getting
second
that
point.
first ult is
Yeah.
really big for UC.
Very
Able to
big,
go
yeah.
first before PSU can build up an ult to respond.
And a lot of that is due to Sifty feeding. You know, doing a little bit of feeding, but you know,
I'm just charging support ults, guys. I'm not
exactly.
feeding.
I'm not feeding. Every tank player stream.
One bubble out and the
Quinn
Kitsune rush
is
now.
using that rush, yeah. So
You're going to kite it, but Nacho's going to go down. Rowan is
Nacho,
going
yeah.
to commit the overclock here. See if we can find anything. Oh, Quinn dropped
Very
low,
close, yeah.
but will survive. And it looks like PSU are going to stabilize here.
Nacho should be able to get back here though quickly, so it shouldn't be too much of an issue here. Akioto is coming up on that overclock as well, so I can see him looking to use it here in a second.
Yeah,
Akioto in trouble. The wall is really good from Zek. The
Stiffy
Blizzard
is gonna
comes
be able to get
out,
him, yeah.
but the beat and the Annihilation will
yeah.
keep him up through that.
Lightning is looking to push this forward more with Stifty. They
The
are
Nano
gonna
Zarya is
nano
going
the
to come
Wanston,
out.
yeah.
Oh, Lightning overextends a little bit. They're looking for the boop.
Yeah, however,
Zek's
Rowan
going to go
gets
down
big
too,
bump.
but it's just Wanston
Yeah.
who should be taken down here.
Yeah, Stifty's gonna pick him off. Yeah, once Big Bomb and Quinn both went down, Wanston was just not able to do anything else there besides just stall.
Yeah, they may buy themselves some time. Are they even going to get a touch?
Akioto is gonna get that touch, but it's not very long.
He
Yeah.
just dies instantly.
Yeah,
Yeah, Wanston dying late was really bad there for PSU.
Wanston
Not
is
able
gonna
to
swap
get a
over to that
sustained
ramp here as
presence
well.
on the point.
Yeah, they forced Wanston onto the Ramatra, and Bryson's gonna go onto the Pharah here.
We've seen a little bit of this ramp from Wanston earlier in the series, and Sifty did end up winning that duel earlier. So
Yeah.
I want to see how this goes.
Yeah, UCS is probably very happy
Yeah.
forcing Wanston off of
that
his
comfort
comfort
pick,
area.
Yeah, Wanston is absolutely insane on that Zarya.
I will say though, the swap from Bryson onto this Pharah in this big open space is also going to be very hard.
Go to a quick pause there, though. I think we're having some lag
I was gonna
issues.
say, yeah, Discord is struggling here, so we
Yeah.
will go to a break, and we'll be right back when we have everyone working again.
All right, we're back now.
Yeah, that was a very short break. I thought it was going to take longer than it did. But
That's why we don't listen to Miles. Akioto
falling
falling
very
low,
low,
yeah.
Sifty, though, gets his Nemesis Force early.
Oh, Rowan
Great
falling
Blizzard,
low.
though, from Zach.
Oh, it's a huge blizzard.
Whoa, that was
with
a nice
great
snipe.
shot on the big bomb.
That was nasty.
Yeah, Bryson's going to fall here as well. This is
UC
great from UC. They only lost Rowan. I mean, you would love to not lose Rowan there, but you're in a great spot. You have Nacho has Rush here, and Penn State doesn't really have anything. And then once Rowan gets back, you'll also have that overclock as well. They are pushing that backline though, and Suzu was forced really early from Nacho.
You see, though, playing that very smart, though. They didn't decide to play that super aggressive and saw that, okay,
They just pushed
PSU's
until
coming
they
up.
were-
We're going to give them just a little bit of space, and then we're going to work on our re-engage and
Yeah.
re-enter the
And
fight
UC
here.
just needs one fight here, and they have good ult economy to do such.
Rowan rips that overclock, but Akioto's the
Nacho
first one
goes
to find
down.
Nacho.
Yeah. Not able to find anything on the overclock, unluckily, and so it looks like UC is going to lose this fight here.
It's a huge win, huge fight win for Penn State here. They were down significantly in the ult economy.
And now they're up.
3 minutes in the time bank for UC.
Yeah, now they're Penn State's not severely up in this. Zek is going to swap to that Genji.
Yeah, I like this. Not a lot really
For
to
men to
mark
do,
you
yeah.
on PSU. Able to get onto this Soj, this Ana here.
Yeah.
Sifty approaching that Annihilation.
I think
but
he'll save it, to be honest. I don't think he's going to look to use it. I don't
Yeah.
think there's a real point.
You see, probably gonna look for a dry fight. Oh,
Great shot from Rowan.
Ew, bro. That was nasty.
Akioto
There's the
falling
annihilation
very
as well.
low.
The Nano Annihilation comes out
Snifty's
for
able to win, though.
Winston.
Lightning's also coming up at beat here, so it's very winnable for UC still. Snifty
He's
lives.
so low, though.
Both Rams just staring at each other with this
Rowan
annihilation.
watching another
Akioto
pick.
Gets another one. Bryson does still
I was
have
gonna say,
that
Bryson's
barrage
gonna go for his
with
brush
the...
here now.
There it goes, but the sound barrier from Lightning
sound barrier
counters
Rowan.
that out. Rowan gets another clean shot onto Bryson. Zek the Stack picks up Quinn.
Able to kill Big Bomb
Rowan
as
gets
well.
Big Bomb, and I think that's going to be the
Watson's
map
not gonna be
there.
able to touch as
University
well.
of Cincinnati full cap that. 3 points and 2 minutes left in the cloud.
Yeah, that's the Rohan effect.
Oh,
That
yeah.
is the Rohan
Yeah.
effect.
Oh,
He is
for
able
sure.
to kill 3 people in that fight, especially the early pick onto Bryson and then onto Akioto later, that is able to really make that fight happen and make that a reality. Yeah, and you can also tell how I guess not uncomfortable, but how unsure Watson is with that Ram. He's not as like
He doesn't know exactly what to do at every single time
exactly.
like he does
Yeah,
on that
like
Zarya.
Zarya, he's very composed about what he's doing, and he's very like sure about it. Whereas on that Ram, he doesn't seem as confident as he would. And I think that's good. I think
Yeah,
UC,
that's very good
I think
for UC.
UC being able to force him onto that Zarya or off of that Zarya onto that Ram is really good for them. And I think if they can continue to do that, I think UC will come out with this map 5.
They're going to start the Zarya for this attack, though.
Yeah, I mean that's just Watson
That's to be
wanting
expected.
start with
Yeah.
his comfort. Yeah,
I agree. I
think they might switch it up if they
they're getting
struggle
held.
with it, but I feel like he's gonna stay with that comfort. I mean, Bryson's still rolling out on this Pharah. I like that from him. I think the Pharah was effective for 3rd point. I mean, it definitely helped hold them to that 2 minutes. Quinn pulling out the Zen. My guess is that it's the same as Lightning
opening
with that
volley.
volley.
Intro volley,
Yeah.
Zek's on the Met.
True. He's on that May, and I think that's a great pick. I think it's a great pick for defense,
Yeah,
especially.
definitely want to wall off that Zarya from the rest
Yeah.
of his team, burn her down before.
Yeah. And Quinn is going to go to this Kiri instead of this Juno over here on this attack. And I actually like that. I think Kiri is, in this situation, is good. I mean, for Wanston, it's probably not the greatest because you would want that Juno for the speed. But I think the Kiri is important here.
Stifty now trying to walk onto that backline with a Nemesis form, but he's forced out there by Wanston with just a bunch of energy on his particle cannon now.
If Zek is able to get a wall here, this is going to be very big because they should be able to kill Watson if he's able to get a good wall.
Zek's still looking to wall off Wanston, but Wanston's getting free
Wanston's
space.
in really deep.
Great wall.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter though.
They do
Watson
break
was
it.
just walked in deep, but he's on 2 HP, but
huge
Akioto
Suzu.
finds Nacho.
Yeah, Akioto is able to get a kill there. Watson is still very low.
Big Bum will be traded. Rowan goes down.
Yeah. Penn State's in a great spot here.
Ooh, that
Able
was
to
a
get
nice shot on the
here,
Lightning.
And then Watson's able to get Snifty. I think Zek's
Gonna be a
gonna
clean
fire
fight
here
here.
as well.
Clean
yeah.
fight there for Penn State. Walked through the University
Yeah.
of Cincinnati there.
I will say though, it was good for UC. UC did burn more time comparatively to Penn State did.
I don't think that was good for UC. It was not
decent
good
enough.
for UC.
It's decent enough. They would have liked to hold longer, but you did hold for a decent amount of time comparatively to Penn State did.
Fair. Watson getting pretty close to that Graviton, Surge, and Quinn 1% off from that Kitsune Rush. There it is. Will he opt to use it right away?
Very low.
Force that Suzu out.
Great
Lightning
nade
goes
from,
down anyway.
Great nade from Big Bob. Able to kill Akioto's able to kill Zach and Lightning.
That's a nice good trade for Rowan.
Yeah.
Using that Graviton Surge from Watson.
Yeah.
Still a good trade.
Yeah.
Oh, and we're gonna go to a quick pause here.
Yeah, Zach swapping over to the Genji. I'm not sure how I feel
I was about to say the
that.
same thing.
Into
I'm
the
not sure.
Zarya,
Yeah.
you just cannot exist anywhere near the Zarya on
Yeah.
the Genji. You will just get bursted down. Cannot deflect that energy beam.
Discord is having more issues because why can't anything work right? But yeah, I mean, UC's in a tough spot here with the Genji. I think you're right, Seamus. I think Genji into that Zarya, especially Watson Zarya, who's very often up in that 80 charge range. I think it's going to be very hard to play it. I think it just doesn't make real sense.
And any dive target that Zek decides to go on is just gonna get bubbled.
Yeah, I will say though, I don't think Zek is really much of a Pharah or a or like another hit scan player as well. I don't think he plays much of it. So they are very.
I think his Soj is decent, but you're not gonna want to steal the
I was
Soj
gonna say
from Rowan.
I don't think you're gonna steal it from Rowan. unless like he goes Cassidy or Ash. I don't think he's really gonna swap much. But that Tor ban is having a big effect, as we can see, because Zek is on that Genji, even though we are playing into that high energy Zarya.
Yeah, I think I would prefer to see Zek stick on the Mei here.
Yeah.
We are jumping right back on in here.
He's gonna swap back to that Mei.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bryson's playing a bit far up here. He's got that barrage, though. If he's going to look to use that early. Don't think so. Yeah, he's going to go back to his team now.
Penn State's in a great spot here.
This will be a big fight here. 4 ults for each side. With Lightning almost having that beat.
I think Penn State's going to look to use this barrage early.
Yeah, we could see a Nano Barrage or a Nano Zarya here.
Stifty does have the Annihilation coming up here shortly. There's the barrage and a great Suzu there from Nacho. Nade does go out on the Stifty, but doesn't matter.
Yeah, Rowan though
Rowan
is going
goes
to fall
down. That is going to make it really tough for UC to do anything here.
Akiato's got an overclock here as well.
Rush is traded. Nano Zarya
as well.
Sifty looks like he's gonna go down so low.
Crazy careful with the Annihilation though to keep himself
still
alive.
Low.
Wow,
and this ramp can just live for so long.
Rowan
comes back.
I was about to say Rowan should be coming back about now.
There's the overclock from Akioto, but it's countered by Lightning's sound barrier.
I think UC just steps back.
Stifty's low. Stifty has to be really careful here.
Yeah, getting chunked down by that overclock, but he does manage to escape with his life for the time being. Rowan now on a devious flank with that overclock. He's gonna get it. He rips it.
Very close.
Akioto does fall to Stifty. Can Rowan find any more with this overclock? He's looking for Wanston. Wanston's on 1 HP now. I mean, doesn't get any final blows with it, but the impact was surely felt there.
Yeah, I was gonna say that clock was very big. It created all that space that UC can now take up. Wanston though does have this grab, and UC doesn't really have anything to counter it.
I do like this right side position that PSU is going to take, and I like this flank that Bryson might also take as well. Yeah. There's the grab coming out now.
Backline.
It should just be 2 kills here. Oh, they're so low.
Rowan gets one traded out, and Lightning escapes.
Has to reload. That is so costly. Lightning's going to go down, but Big Bum and Akioto went down first. UC are up 4-3 here in this fight.
Yeah, but Wanston, he's got a high charge energy beam. That's not to be trifled with. Just one. Oh, he gets the wall up on the Kiri. Kiri uses that Suzu though and lives.
That was a great shield by Stifty as well on that grab. He was able to cut off the Zarya.
There's the Blizzard to counter the Kitsune rush. Will he freeze Wanston? Cut off just a little bit. He's falling real low. Forced to use the nade to heal him up, and now's the rush.
Here comes the rush out of UC as well.
Rowan finds Bryson as well.
They should be able to kill
Stifty's got the Annihilation, but Wanston finds Zek the Snack. Rowan gets one on the Big Bum. Stifty gets 2 with the Annihilation.
Big punches from Stifty.
Wanston in the back line, he's gonna fall here as well. No, but as I was saying, Stifty cut off that grab from Wanston and was able to save Nacho and Lightning.
Yeah.
In that as well. I think Nacho and Lightning would have died before Wanston had to reload
that
if it wasn't for that
clutch.
shield. Yeah.
Yes.
So,
definitely.
I mean, if you're UC though, you're happy about where you are, but you're also a little worried, right? Wanston has that grab again, and they have that barrage. Now, Rowan does have that overclock, and Lightning is coming up on that beat, so you do have a little bit of stuff that you can use to, deal with the ultimates that Penn State has, but Penn State has 2 very big ultimates that can very much win them this point.
Just over 1 minute remaining here on this.
Rowan on the flank with the overclock.
Rowan finds 2. Can he find a 3rd? He's looking for Wanston. Can he find the kill? Not quite yet. He's looking to just disengage for now. He made that impact. That's all you need.
Very huge headshot.
They're gonna keep pushing. Yeah,
Lightning finds Wanston. Rowan's in the back. Finds one onto Akioto. Can he find the other? Kiri TP's out. That's all right.
Get out. Akioto does find Stifty at the end, but I don't think that's going to make too much of an impact because I think Stifty's going to get back here in time for this fight.
Yeah, and this is probably going to be last fight here for PSU, and all they have are these DPS ults.
I mean, they are in a great position, though. UC has no ults to do with it, and they're going to have rush if this fight drags on long enough.
Can Rowan put the team on his back once again with these flanks to end this reign of terror from Penn State and send them home?
Oh, Stifty is low. Suzu is forced early. It's a huge slow, though.
Very low.
There's The overclock now from
Akioto.
Akioto, but
Rowan
Rowan
finds a
finds
big
one
one
on the
to
big
Otto.
bun. The
Stifty
barrage
goes down
comes
to
out
the
on the
barrage.
Stifty.
Oh,
Akioto finds
yeah.
some, and there's the rush
Yeah.
from Quinn to seal that attack point, but the overtime clock
Akioto's
does
traded
now
out, but
tick.
I don't think it'll matter.
You know what though? If you're UC, you're fine with that.
That was, yeah.
Penn State used all of their ults just to be able to cap. You have a minute and a half now, and you're coming up on all your ults.
UC is smart here. They can make this just one
Yeah,
fight.
they can make this one fight, and they can make this a very favorable fight for them.
Yeah.
So
They just cannot get picked out early,
Yes.
and they cannot stagger if they do get
yes.
picked.
One thing is though, Watson is coming up on this grab again, and his grabs have been pretty decent throughout this game.
The annihilation
Stifty
though
gonna go
comes out from
fast with the
Stifty.
annihilation.
Yeah.
I like this. Don't let the car get
Watson
too far.
gets cut
Watson
off
gets
as well.
caught.
He got cut off by the wall, and the rest of UC was able to kill him while Stifty pushed everyone else back.
Zach,
These
this next got
walls
the blizzard.
onto
Yeah.
Wanston have been very big from Zach.
Yeah, and that was great from UC as well. They only used annihilation. They were able to win that fight off just to kill Watson.
Stopping the cart this early gives them at least 2 fights before PSU can cap.
Yeah, and even if PSU does cap, it looks like
An
they're
early
gonna be in
rush.
overtime.
Early rush, I like this.
They've
Can
both
Stifty
falling
find
very
anything
low
with
here.
it? There's the
Grab is
Graviton
in.
search for
On the
Watson
other
on the
round.
corner. Does capture Stifty, but Stifty's able to
Just
stay alive for
able to
now.
hold blocks. The
Sound
beat
barrier comes out.
The blizzard
They
comes
froze.
out. Watson's gonna go
An
down.
amazing blizzard there from Zach the Snack.
15 seconds left, and Penn State's gonna have to.
They're gonna
hope
have
that
to
they can touch.
Yeah, they have to. They can touch, but they're gonna have to make
Yeah.
some swaps to do
Yeah,
so.
the Tracer's gonna
Yeah,
come
but
out to
you
touch.
see, Rowan has that overclock.
Yeah, Rowan does have an overclock here. Bryson already forced to use that recall. Does he? Or he does get
He
the
is able
touch
to get the touch.
despite the
Lightning,
boot.
though, does get him.
Here's the
Overclock in the
overclock
back
for
corner.
Rowan. He finds
Overclock.
one.
Oh,
Can he
finds-
find any more?
finds
He's
Big
looking
Bob.
for more. He
He's gonna
finds
get
Watson.
Watson. He's gonna get Watson, I
1
think.
HP now. Nacho gets one onto Quinn, but
It looks like
Stifty.
that's gonna be
And
it.
that's
That is
UC.
it.
The
University of
map 5
Cincinnati
victory. Wow.
Yeah,
sending Penn State home.
They solved Penn
Yeah.
State's Zarya comp.
I mean, let's give credit to Penn State.
Yes,
They played
both
very well
teams.
this whole tournament, and especially in this last game.
Yeah.
I
This is
will
a very
say,
high-level game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I will say, Red played very well as well. I mean, all of them, but especially in this last map, let's give it to Rowan.
Yeah.
I mean, Rowan played
Yes.
phenomenally in this last map and won multiple fights
Yeah.
for UC.
Some absurd
Single-handed
hero
yeah,
plays from
single-handedly.
Rowan.
Rowan
Yeah.
went absolutely dummy.
That Sojourn
this
made
half.
such a difference on this map for Rowan and UC Red. I mean, if they don't have Rowan in this situation with that Sojourn, that would have been a closer game, I feel like.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
With that though, guys, that has been your losers finals.
Yeah.
Just in a few minutes, we will be here for the grand finals between the University of Cincinnati.
rematch.
Yeah.
The
The
rematch is
rematch
the
in the
winner's
winner's
finals.
University
finals.
of Michigan.
Michigan
We-
UC Red. It's
yeah.
gonna be a great game.
We'll see you guys there in just a few minutes. But with that, I've been Danny Konechny.
I've been Miles Vaughn.
And I've been Seamus Leonard.
Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you guys in a bit.